Oh, satire? What's that? Alright, guys. So, I was digging around in my library, my game library, and I saw that I had this one game that I completely forgot about. It's called Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction for the N64. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I like the Powerpuff Girls. I watched it when I was a kid. And I was just thinking like, you know, this could make for something to talk about. So, I'm gonna play this game, and I'm gonna come back and give my review. It seems pretty promising. I mean, you got Blossom, Buttercup, Bubbles on the box art. They're fighting the bad guys, so you know, I think it's gonna be good. Ah, yeah, okay. So I played this game, and yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. It's bad. Like, okay, I played bad games, alright, but this is something else. Alright, so let me just lay the foundation. Okay, the very moment that you start the game up, there's nothing. It just drops you right into the title screen. Well, after it shows you like the 5 promotional title screens, like for Warner Brothers, that BAM, which is defunct, by the way, and this other company that I'm pretty sure doesn't even exist anymore. And then you finally get dropped into the title screen. Oh, and get this, every time you go into the menus and then go back to the main menu, the music restarts. I love that. That doesn't get old quickly. So, you go into the menus, you see these very low quality images of the Powerpuff Girls. So, you start the story mode, and you think, okay, can't be that bad. Alright, so, there's no cutscenes, nothing like that. It just drops you in, it just tells you everything that's happening. So apparently, and bear with me here, the story is that the girls and Professor Utonium are trying to make a pie. And you know, it's kind of cute, like, oh, the girls and the professor, they're trying to make a pie, like some, you know, just some natural, just some ordinary family thing. But then they have the bright idea, like Professor Utonium goes, girls, I think this pie is missing something. And then Buttercup is like, oh yeah, Professor, I think this pie is missing something. What could that be? And then Bubbles is like, oh, I know what this pie is missing, Chemical X. Chemical X! And then get this. So Mojo Jojo apparently was spying on them. Yeah, I guess he was just on a tree branch somewhere, and he just got a good look into the house. Like, apparently, Professor Utonium doesn't have, like, security cameras. And then Mojo's like, I'm Mojo Jojo, will spy what the girls are doing on this fine Saturday. Yeah, like, you know, I think they need to be more worried about Mojo Jojo just spying on little girls. That's kind of problematic when you think about it. And then he sees that they're putting Chemical X in the pie. And then Mojo Jojo, the opportunist he is like, oh, I shall swoop in and I shall take the pie. So he takes the pie. I guess he just waltzed in there and snatched the pie right off the counter. And then he gives a piece of the pie to all the villains in Townsville. And then now all the supervillains, they got Chemical X.
Holy shit!
Now the girls gotta go save the day. It's never explained why Mojo Jojo is giving the pie to the villains. He would never do such a thing. But I mean, I guess they were hosting like some type of supervillain potluck, and it was Mojo Jojo's turn to host. And then he remembered at the last second that he needed to bring the dessert. It's like,
oh, I forgot the dessert. Oh, I know. I will give this pie.
But look, enough with the story. We can ramble about the writer's incompetence another day. Let's get to the game. So you pick between the 3 girls, and then it just drops you, well, there's 6 locations in the game. But the first location that you fight in is the city hall. Allow me to ask this question. Why is the first location you fight at is City Hall? Where is everybody? Where's the mayor?
Hey there, young people.
And secondly, why are we fighting in his office? Oh, nothing screams like protecting the citizens of Townsville and maintaining peace like property damage! I'm getting ahead of myself. So I chose Buttercup, and the first guy that you fight, it's I forgot his name. The big fat guy with the orange hair and green skin. He's in that one game. So you fight him, and here's how the gameplay goes. So you get dropped into the arena, and I mean, there's pretty much no tutorial. It doesn't tell you what buttons do what. You just kind of have to figure it out. And here I was running back and forth. I didn't know what to do. I just pressed random buttons, and like I could not find out what the power button was. There was nothing. Like I would try to fight this guy, and all I could do was punch and kick. Like, Buttercup, aren't you a Powerpuff Girl? super strength or your laser vision. You're just punching and kicking. You're a Powerpuff Girl, not a Puff Girl. So eventually it just came down to kicking and punching and the death. Yeah, it's just simple button mashing. What'd you expect? It's a game from the late 90s about a TV show. You're not gonna get something very much high quality. So you do that for 3 rounds until either you or he wins, and then that's it. There's nothing. There's no like, oh, well, actually there is a windscreen, but you might as well ignore it. It's just it's just a lazy backdrop with the heart, like the heart swirl that comes up at the end of the episode. It's like, and now the day is saved. But I mean, I guess he blew half their budget getting the original voice actresses Tara Strong, Kathy Cavadini, and E.G. Daly to voice the few lines that the girls got in the game. And they couldn't afford to get Tom Kenny on board to voice his lines as the narrator, so it just feels hollow. So after the windscreen, it just drops you back to the character select screen. You gotta pick your next character. So for the next round, I chose Blossom. Okay, I was thinking, okay, maybe Buttercup is more like strength focused, so maybe Blossom has like more specialist ability. Nope, she does not. She does not have any powers either. All you can do is fly. Across all 3 Powerpuff Girls, you can just fly. That's it. So the second stage you fight at is at the bank, and surprise, surprise, nobody's here. So you fight Sedusa. And if you didn't think that the AI was brain dead already, then oh my gosh, prepare to be surprised. So the very moment that you start this fight up, she will run to the nearest thing that she can throw it, and she will pick it up and throw it at you. That's what she will do. She won't fight you head on. She will just run to the nearest object, she'll go up to the diamond and chuck it at you. Like, look, I told you that all you can do was fly in this game, right? She can throw it at you and she can knock you out of the air. Like, how's that fair? And then she'll rush up on you, and she's fast too. She is fast. She will throw and then she will run up with you. She's also got the spin attack, which will lock you in place, and there's nothing you can do about it. It just leaves you open for a free hit. You can't mash the buttons. You're stuck there until she hits you. Look, lady, I've been spit on a couple times before, and let me tell you this. Being spit on either means it's a sign of respect or it's a challenge. Now have you know that I've been spit on 4 times. Now the 3rd times I have been spit on as a sign of disrespect. That one time I was spit on as a sign of respect. You're probably thinking to yourself, now Onnie, surely there's a way to beat her. And I would think that too, but I highly doubt that there's an issue of Nintendo Power out there that details you the strat of how to beat Sedusa in this game, and I highly doubt that the manual has anything. If anything, it just tells you the controls, but you just gotta keep figuring out. It's up to your imagination. You just gotta keep figuring out through trial and error how to beat her. Okay, so after some finagling around, I found out that there's this ground pound mechanic. In the midst of my panic, I found out a way to cheese the AI. So if you fly, and if you hit the ground pound, the AI cannot do anything. You'll stun lock them. So if you fly and then ground pound, you will win. And that's what I did to beat her. I just flew, I just kept doing that for the entire round, and that's how I beat her. Probably gonna say something along the lines like, oh, Onnie, that's not fair. You're not playing how the developers intended. And to that, I say, they implemented it, and I'm gonna take full advantage of that. It's not my problem that they broke the AI so badly that it gets stun locked off of this. And hey, she spit on me as a sign of disrespect. If she spit on me as a sign of respect, maybe my tune would change. So once you beat her, you get sent back to the character selection screen. I think you're starting to get the gist now. You beat the villain, you get sent back, and then you fight the next villain in the next stage. I really hope you weren't looking for anything else, because this is the entire gameplay loop. Speaking of restart, the game does not have save files, so every time that I boot the game back up, I had to play the first 2 stages again just to get back to where I was. So at this point, my patience was already running thin. You want to know how to save your progress and pick up where you left off? Well, look at this rigmarole right here. The game has a password system. A password system! In 2001, no less! Like, come on, guys. At this point, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time had save files. And you're telling me that you can't even implement the means of saving our game? Like, at this point, I don't even know what this game can do. So, the next villain that you fight is Princess Morbucks, which, if you know from the show, she's a spoiled little brat who uses her parents' money to fund her tech suit so she can fight the girls. And the arena that you're fighting is at the school that the girls go to. And you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, this is a change of pace. A good old schoolyard brawl. That's something that you don't see a lot. But I told you about the objects, right, and how the enemies can throw them. If you thought they were bad, it gets even worse. This place is littered with throwable objects. Everything that you can see here, you can throw it. From the tables, to the chairs, to the dollhouse, to the fire extinguisher, to the plant, to the apple. I guarantee, if you think you can pick it up, you can, and you can throw it. And can you guess what the AI does in this scenario? That's right, running up to the nearest object that it can find and throwing it at you. At this point, they shouldn't even call it Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction. They should rename it Powerpuff Girls Dodge Getting Hit by Tables and Chairs or whatever else the villains can find. Rated E for everyone, of course, because we need to maximize accessibility and profits. But even then, that's pushing it. They're not really even doing anything powerful. They should really be called mild-mannered girls who can do some levitation capabilities. So, Princess Morbucks isn't as fast as Sedusa, but she can still pick up objects and throw them as fast as her. And I'm pretty sure that she can throw them even harder too, which does more damage. So, any normal person can deduce, alright, the AI doesn't want to play fair. It wants to be cheap, then we'll be cheap too. And you'll think, well, can't you throw objects back at it? Well, you can, but let me explain. In order to pick up an object, you have to walk up to it. And if you have a functional brain, you'll think, okay, maybe I have to hold down like the B button or something like that to pick it up. But that's not how it works. A button? Nope. The shoulder buttons? Nah-uh. The D-pad? Think again. I want you to guess. I want you to guess which button it is. It's C button down. Yeah, would you ever guess it's C button down? I didn't guess. I had to keep pressing random buttons till I finally figured it out. And here's how you throw. So you have to charge it. You wanna know how to charge it? You have to press the B button down. And while you're charging, you run slowly and you have to charge this meter up. But you know, it's pointless. You wanna know why it's pointless? Because when you hold this meter down, you can't do nothing. You'll walk at the pace of a snail, and by the time it's fully charged, the enemy will just run up and smack you and you'll drop it. So you might as well not even do it. Just smash the buttons, don't throw. So eventually, I just stuck to the strat, the ground pound stun lock, and at this point I started to master it, so the matches didn't even last that long. Wow, great game, guys. I can tell you that you put a lot of time and effort into it. So, you get sent back to the menu, and by now you're probably over it at this point, and I don't blame you. It's just that same gameplay loop over and over again, find the enemy, getting sent back, and then find the next enemy. So, I took a small break. I looked up Let's Play videos of chemical extraction on YouTube, and I found that the game also released on PlayStation. So, curious as I was, I watched a couple videos, and bear with me here, because there's a lot to stomach. Firstly, the PlayStation 1 version looks leagues better than the N64 version. The girls actually look like the girls, the textures are actually legible, and the maps look way better. Secondly, it has cutscenes! It has fully rendered cutscenes! And they even got the original voice actors to boot to reprise their character roles!
The girls are adding together their own mix of sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Hi! Come on, Bubbles. It's time to put the pie in the oven.
Little do the Powerpuff Girls know that I, Mojo Jojo, am sitting out here spying on them.
And only one villain is depraved enough to swipe an X-powered pie. Mojo Jojo.
Not so fast.
What's this? The day is not saved?
And judging by the gameplay, it looks a whole lot better than the N64 version. I mean, it's the same thing. You're just running around in the map and you're throwing objects at the enemies. But, I mean, it's not as cramped as the N64 version, and it looks like that you have more control. And here's the most damning piece of evidence of all. There are powers! Yes! There are powers! I couldn't believe it myself! There are powers in the game! But, like, I could not figure that out either. So, I guess there is something that I'm missing, or it's either A, the N64 version doesn't have powers, B, the PlayStation version only has powers, or C, I'm just too stupid to figure it out. Either one, either one of those, I'm very mad. So, the next villain you fight is Fuzzy Lumpkins as Shaq. Yeah, I guess he wasn't so big into getting chemical egg shop in his system and he went home after the potluck. I mean, he has the capabilities of destroying a whole third world country, but he'd rather just spend all his time at his house. You know what? Respect. But let me tell you, the way this boss fight starts is far from fair. Because the moment that it starts, he already has a way to attack you. Because he has like this shower tub thing. He just chucks it at you, so he gets a freebie right off the bat. And secondly, you spawn right next to this fire barrel, and it will spew like charred bits at you, and it will hurt you. And you'll think to yourself, okay, we get the gameplay formula. The AI is just gonna throw objects at you, so just get out of the way. But this dude, he subverts that because he's the most aggressive mofo out of all these villains. He will run up on you and he will spam attack you. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I was not prepared for the way that he will attack you because I've been so used to this AI spamming the objects that he just runs up and he actually starts beating you up like a brawler. And like, I tried to throw the objects back at him. Like, I really did. Like, I really tried to give this throwing mechanic a try. But I just could not figure it out. I just kept getting hit. They will keep knocking it out of my hands. It was just pointless. I was just setting myself up to get hit. And you probably noticed that you and the enemies will drop chemical X vials on the ground. and I guess you're supposed to pick them up, and you're probably wondering why I haven't said anything about it. Well, the truth is there was no point in talking about it, because the distance between picking up the vials and what you get out of it is very palpable. But hey, I'll tell you anyways. So, yes, there are powers, but here's the kicker. You have to get the vials. There's no other way around it. You need to get those vials or else you get no powers. And I just told you earlier that you can't get hit, because if you do, you'll drop the vials. And secondly, the enemies can pick up the vials too. And now that I know this knowledge, I just want to ask, why? Why would you do this? Oh my gosh, Bam, why? Why this? Why? Why would you lock this mechanic behind such arbitrary means? Like, you make it nearly impossible to not get hit, and then by the time you finally do get it, it's lackluster. So I just did what I did best and ground pound stun locked him until I won the match. And yeah, it's starting to become really more apparent that the developers never intended that to happen. Like, they really were hoping that he was going to be like a challenge, but all you have to do is just do this one thing, and he gets mollywopped. So you know what? Gosh, guys, this is really wearing on me. So you win the fight, and you expect to be greeted with the same thing that you've grown accustomed to. But hey, get this, a change of pace. It doesn't drop you back into the character select screen. It keeps you on the map. It'll say,
Congratulations! You have unlocked Funny Shacks in the simulator mode!
and can you imagine my reaction? I was like, oh, cool! I unlocked the map for a mode that I was never gonna play to begin with. Fun! So the next villain that you fight is Ace, the leader of the Gangrene Gang at the Townsville City Dump. And let me tell you, he has one of the most smug-looking faces I've seen on an NPC. Like, oh my gosh, it's like he knows that you are being tortured. And I know that we're so far gone from the plot, but let me just point it out. Why is Ace fighting the girls? He would never do that. He's the leader. He doesn't fight. He leads. But I mean, we've already pointed out all the absurdities. We have Mojo Jojo stealing a pie to give to villains. We have the professor being a complete moron, and the girls are just they're mildly powerful at best. So fighting him, the moment that the fight starts, you see that he runs like a Scooby-Doo character, so you already know that it's not going to be serious. I guess they tried to do something, but it just feels lazy. He scatters spray cans everywhere, and he can use them. And he'll run back to like that outhouse and he'll grab garbage. He'll grab garbage bags and throw them at you. But like, at this point, you've already been through it. You already know what to expect. So at this point, it's just a game of patience. Don't pay any mind to him. Just do the ground pound stun lock thing until you win the round. And hey, guess what? You also unlock the City Townsville Dump as a place to fight at in the simulator mode. Oh, riveting. It's like they're telling you up front,
hey, this is really bottom of the barrel stuff. Like, this is all we got.
Yeah, I can tell. So the last stage you fight in is in Mojo Jojo's Volcano Top Observatory. And there's a couple things to say about this fight. So, firstly, the AI for Mojo is probably the most complex programmed AI that they have in this game, because he'll prioritize picking up the chemical X vials off the ground. Secondly, he has this really powerful laser attack, which if he hits you with it, you're pretty much dead. It drains like most of your health bar, so if you get hit by that, it's pretty much game over. And thirdly, this was actually the first time that I lost in this game. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. I actually lost. But aside from that, there's really nothing else to say about his fight. He still does the same thing as the other AI does. He grabs objects from the ground and throws them at you. He'll still try and run up and smack you. And he's still susceptible to the ground pound stun lock. So just do that and you'll win. And you'll think to yourself, okay, you beat the game. Is there anything else that you get from that? And, well, if you're looking for a pat on the back, I can guarantee you that. But if you're looking for anything else that this game will give you, I'm sorry, but that's it. That's the entire game right there. You beat all 6 stages and you get sent back to the character select screen. No, like, congratulations, or, ooh, you need to do this. Just, you get sent back, and then you have to pick another Powerpuff Girl. You wanna know why? Well, I'll tell you. So this game is not that long. Alright, it is not that long, it's just 6 stages long, and the fights don't even last that long. So, you wanna know how the developers artificially pad out the time? Well, it sends you back to the character select screen, and you have to play all 6 stages again, but with another Powerpuff Girl. Yes, I'm not kidding. You have to play the entire story mode 3 times in a row with all 3 Powerpuff Girls, and that's how you unlock the true fight, the true final fight at the end. And by now, I've already played this game 6 times, and to know that I had to go back and play the entire story mode again, but with the other 2 girls, it nearly drove me to just quitting it right now. I'm just gonna quickly run through it. These 2 other playthroughs that I did, it made me realize a couple things I didn't realize before, for better and for worse, mostly worse, but I'll get into that. So let me just state the 2 good things I can only say about this. Firstly, I was able to find out how to pick up the objects off the ground and throw them at the enemies. Secondly, I was able to pick up the chemical X-Vials off the ground and actually use the power button. It's a right shoulder button, by the way. Now on to the bad. Across all 3 Powerpuff Girls, you can just do the laser vision, which it doesn't even do that much damage. In the PlayStation 1 version, I think Bubbles, she has like an energy orb, Buttercup, she has like a spin attack, and Blossom, she has like ice breath. So they took that out in this version. I don't know why, so it's just a neuter button. There's a 50-50 chance that the objects you throw will hit the enemies. Sometimes you'll miss, and sometimes it looks like it won't even connect. And judging my observation, it looks like that they're able to grab it out of the air and throw it back at you. The charge mirror doesn't even do that much damage to the enemies. A fully charged mirror would do like just over a quarter of damage. It's just a overblown zoning tool. On the Princess Morbucks fight, she's able to do a ground pound too, which is annoying because she'll jump in the air and then you just can't hit her. The fire barrel on Fuzzy's level is a dead trap because it does proximity damage, so if you get caught in it, you'll just keep getting knocked down and Fuzzy will walk up and he will spam attack you and you pretty much lose the fight. On Ace's stage, the spray cans will hit you twice, which will lock you in place, so that's annoying. Mojo Jojo again with this stupid laser that does so much damage and it will auto lock on you so you can't dodge it. The fact that you have to play the entire game again 2 times with the other Powerpuff Girls with no variety. The fact that the ways that you can hurt the villain, like with throwing objects and the concept of powers with laser vision, the fact that you can beat them all with this one stupid cheese strat just proves that they didn't even playtest their own game and it's disappointing. When you or the enemy use your powers, you'll drop 2 chemical X-Vials on the ground. And you'll think to yourself, maybe it's like a rebound tool, so where once you use your powers, the enemy can run up and grab those 2 vials and they can grab one more so they can use their powers. But it's not like that. There's frames where you can't pick up the vials once you just use your powers. You can just pick those up right after you use it and then you can grab another vial and you can release your power again, so it just feeds into a positive feedback loop. And lastly, there's the fact that these arena spaces are so small and so boxed in, you can barely run anywhere. It's just so cramped and claustrophobic. You and the enemy are just close together in close quarters. It's just awful to fight at. So once you do that with all 3 girls, you'll finally unlock the final boss fight. And the game doesn't tell you that you have to do it, you just have to figure it out. There's no hint, you just have to know, oh, okay, I have to play the entire game again, but with the other 2 girls. You'll see a static text screen like with what you saw earlier in the beginning of the game. And Mojo, he's defeated and he's on the ground and he's saying like,
"Oh, I'll get you next time, Powerpuff Girls."
You know, a stereotypical villain line that they all shout once they're defeated. So you think it's over, but the ground starts shaking. And then apparently him appears, which if you know the show, him is like the show's version of Satan. And him starts berating Mojo for being a complete moron for giving the chemical X-Pie to the villains. And Buttercup is like, oh, well, we don't like Mojo, but he doesn't even deserve this. And Buttercup, I don't mean to be that guy, but he totally deserves this. He was a complete moron to begin with for giving the chemical X-Pie. So now they run in to save Mojo, and now you're fighting in him's lair. So you think to yourself, okay, this final fight has to be like something. There's gotta be something about this fight that makes it all worth it. Well, I'll just be straight with you. So this fight, firstly, it takes place in Him's Lair, which I guess I'll give this game credit. You're in Him's Lair, which is pretty much hell. So I guess I'll give them points for being a little edgy, doing something a little dark in a kid's game. But secondly, he has like the same AI as Mojo. He'll prioritize picking up the chemical X-Vials and knocking the chemical X-Vials out of you so he can unleash his power. And yes, he still has the stupid overpowered laser, which once he unleashes it, it will all lock on you, you'll die instantly, and you'll lose the match. Thirdly, he can fly. You're not the only one that can just fly. He can fly too, and he'll fly over to you, and he'll also fly on to the top balcony where he can get that chemical X-Vial up there. And you'll try to reason to yourself, you try to make yourself believe, okay, well, he's the final fight, surely he's gotta be hard, he's got the laser, and surely he has a way to stop the player from doing any strategies that worked before. Like, that's common in video games, where when you get to the final boss, they'll have like a shield, like an immunity from certain things that the player can't do to make the boss fight more challenging. But I just want you to guess. The cheese strat. Yes, it can still work on him. You can still do the ground pound stun lock on him, and it will work. He will be defeated by that, and he's a taller target. So it's easier to get on top of them and start doing that over and over again. So, yes, that's what I did. I have no shame in admitting that. That's what I did. That's how I beat him. There's no challenge in it. Just fly over him and start doing that. And it's even more funny when you think about it, because him in the show, he's like the biggest threat. Like, he's the most powerful villain in the entire show. Like, he's able to warp reality, he's able to change size, he's able to shapeshift, he's able to do all these things, and he's able to be thwarted by this one stupid strategy. But hey, you know what? I'm just gonna believe that he allowed this to happen. I'm just gonna think that he went, oh, well, this was certainly,
Funny, another game that you played.
but, I think I'm, gonna leave now. Ta-ta, girls! And then he just left. So, that's what happened. I'm just gonna believe that. That's my headcanon. So, you get to the final title card, and yeah, it's another static screen. What do you expect? No cutscenes. The PlayStation 1 version only has that. So, sorry you N64 lovers. You just gotta deal with the table scraps. And then Blossom says, I'll show you him. And Buttercup says, yeah, even you can't be a bully. And Bubba says, it's just not nice. And then the narrator says, and so, once again, the day is saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. And yeah, if you're not expecting anything else, no. You just get sent back to the main screen. That's it. And you know what's funny? I think Mojo is still just lying there. Like, the narrator saying this thing and the girls are doing like their pose. And Mojo, he's just on the ground. He's on his last leg. Like, his brain dome is exposed. He's just beat up. And, you know, I think that's a perfect analogy to describe this game. You come in here, you see the Powerpuff Girls, you expect powers, you expect fantastical stuff, and then you actually play the game, and then you realize, oh, so they just neutered everything that makes the Powerpuff Girls the Powerpuff Girls, and this is what you're left with. Just a sad excuse. You see all the villains, you see all the characters just made a complete fool of themselves, and just everything that you loved about the show just being a complete inverse of that. Pathetic and inauthentic. So, that's it. That's Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction for the N64. And you'll think to yourself, wow, that sucked. But can you really be that surprised? This is pretty much expected for any type of tie-in video game for a movie or TV show, where a developer, they acquire the license to produce that game, and then they just chug out a cheaply made video game to put on the store shelves for like the holidays, and then you buy the game, you put it in, and then you just get absolutely disappointed by everything that they did. Like, you expect all this to happen. Like, I was a kid, I lived through this. I saw what it was like to go to the store and see like your favorite cartoon character have their own video game. And then you get home and then you just have your entire worldview crushed. But hey, I guess there's some lessons in life that you just gotta learn. Which, by the way, I think I'm gonna tune in to a new channel that I just picked up that's teaching me how to cook. So, the show is called Him's Cooking Hour. Well, okay, I guess it sounds interesting. Well, hello, darlings. I'm glad that you tuned in to me. Tonight, we have a very special guest on board. We have
Mojo.
Billy, Ace, and...
What's your name?
What's my name? Wait, what am I doing here? How'd I get here? Oh, darling! You're the special guest of the hour. Explain yourself. We want to hear all about you. I'm Onnie. Onnie, what do you do? Well, darling, Onnie, I want to ask you, are you good with salt or pepper? Me? Salt? Pepper?
Yes, salt and pepper.
Why are you asking?
Because we're cooking you.
Oh, you're cooking. Wait,